Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be reacting to real stories about why people choose to cut off their family. Now, this is a sensitive topic because from the outside, it's easy to judge. But the reality is people don't make these decisions lightly. Sometimes it's about protecting their peace, setting boundaries, or walking away from situations that have become too toxic or overwhelming. This isn't about taking sides, it's about understanding different perspectives and hearing real experiences. Let's get into the video.
Your decision to go no contact with your family of origin is 100% the right decision. I wish somebody had made this video for me back in 2007 when I went no contact with my mother. So I'm here to tell you everything I have learned going no contact with my family of origin and some hot tips to help you get through the holiday season going no contact. Okay, so first of all, you might even be doubting your wanting to go no contact. You might be saying things like, I don't know, was it that bad? Maybe I'm being overly dramatic. Maybe I'm being like, maybe I'm the a-hole here. I'm here to tell you, if you're even doubting wanting to have a relationship with your parents or somebody in your family, it's probably because there's something awful there. Especially with mothers and fathers, children want to have a bond with their parents. So if you don't want that, something is wrong on a primal level. And we've been gaslit our whole lives, right? Like my dad would tell me like, oh, you don't have a problem. You don't, what you're crying for? You're depressed. I'm depressed. Like I've been told that I shouldn't have feelings about anything my whole life. So of course, when you have a strong feeling like wanting to get away from these people, you will doubt yourself. So number one, don't doubt these feelings. It's 100% valid. And if you're ever feeling like, gosh, I feel guilty, because that's going to be a huge one. You might feel guilty that you don't want to be around your family of origin. This thought always helped me, which was, would I ever let the mailman, a stranger on the street, a bus driver, whoever, talk to me the way my own parents would talk to me? No, hard pass. I don't even let strangers on the street treat me as crummy as the way my own family did. So whenever you're having doubts or maybe you're feeling guilty, just keep that in mind. Okay, and going into the holidays, expect that other people in your family will probably not understand your decision to go no contact. And maybe it's because they did not have the same relationship with this person that you're separating from, that you had a different relationship with your mother than, say, your aunt, your cousins, or whomever. So maybe they can't even understand why. But here's some hot tips, and here's a great comeback I had when people would say things to me like, oh my goodness, you're not talking to your mother on Christmas? Oh no, but she's going to be all alone. And I would go, yes, you're absolutely right. My mother is going to be all alone. In fact, here's her phone number. Why don't you call her and hang out with her if you like her so much? Another thing you might feel over the holidays when you're no contact with your mother or your father is the guilt. Like, oh my gosh, they're alone for the holidays. How will they survive? Okay, here's one thing I've learned. If you're not there for that person to abuse, they'll just find another person to torture. It's just that simple. The minute I stopped being around for my mother to, berate me, criticize me, tell me I wasn't good enough, I'm too fat, I'm too ugly, I'm too this, I'm the most neglectful daughter. The minute I was like, okay, I'm done, she just found somebody else to leech onto and be awful to them. So don't worry. For some reason, these people are extremely resourceful and they will find another supply, another person to treat just as poorly as they did you. So don't you feel guilty for leaving them. It's not your job to be somebody's punching bag. Oh, and another thought. Girls who go no contact with their mother suffer Look, I just think it's so against the forces of nature for a girl not to speak to her mother. And if you ever have doubts or like, oh my gosh, should I go back to mommy? And then mommy hasn't done the work. Because sometimes parents can do the work, get into therapy, change, get better, and you can have a relationship with them. That is totally possible, okay? Sometimes that's not possible. And when that's the scenario and you feel guilty for not being with that mom, I want you to watch the movie Grey Gardens. Anytime I felt bad about being no contact with my crazy borderline schizophrenic mother, I would watch that movie. And poor Edith, I think that was her name, right? The daughter, I would just be like, oh my gosh, that totally could have been me, because it's really easy for daughters and mothers to become enmeshed. And listen, you gave these people the first 18 years of your life. Do not give them the rest of your life. You deserve that to build and create and be whomever it is you want to be without being abused and tortured and criticized. It's just terrible. Okay, one last thought. People who don't understand going no contact with their family will say things to you like, oh my gosh, you're not speaking to your mom or your dad. Well, one day they're gonna die and you're really going to regret it. My mom died in 2015. So far, no regrets. It's been the most healing, wonderful thing. Sadly, that's happened to me in this journey of getting better and healing from my childhood. So in my world, I have no regrets about going no contact. Now, is it sad that I had to do that? Absolutely. And will I always carry some level of sadness for never having had a normal relationship with my mom? Yeah, absolutely. And that's just my bag in life. And unfortunately, most of us have stuff that we carry around and deal with. But regret? Hell no. Hell no. And like I said, there's those rare occasions where parents do change and grow and become better, and like maybe you can have a relationship with them, but I will never ever regret saving my life over being there for my mom to abuse and, to be her punching bag. That is not a life for you. So again, I just want to make this video for anybody that's like, I know the holidays are coming and it's a bummer when you can't be with your family of origin. I haven't been with my family of origin in, 10, 15 years. But what I wanted to share with you is that your decision to go no contact, absolutely. If you feel it, do it. Just do it. And by the way, a normal, nice parent, like if my kids, when they grow up, were to be like, hey mom, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Do you know what my reaction would be? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Have I hurt you in any way? I'm so sorry. What can I do to repair this relationship? Now, when you split with a toxic parent, their reaction is what? Defensiveness. You're a piece of shit. Why are you? You're abandoning me. No. So that should tell you something, that your decision is absolutely right. And these people are in fact abusive, because we don't always know. It's kind of a weird thing when you grow up in abuse. You don't really know you're being abused until you're out of it and you're healthy and you're in therapy and you're like, oh yeah, oh, that was child abuse, or that was really fucking weird that my mom, wouldn't let me have friends over. Why? Because then they might see that our life is weird and I might tell somebody or whatever. So 0 regrets. Take care of yourself and make a holiday that makes sense for you. I now celebrate with my in-laws, whom I adore. I love them. And I'm just blessed to have my own family that I put my energy and my love into, and not my family of origin, who will suck that valuable energy and space that I'm now giving to my children to make their lives better. I know this video is super long. I wanted to get this out there before Thanksgiving, before I'm actually going to leave and go for a week. But anyway, I hope you're having a great holiday. And thank you so much for watching these videos. I'm really enjoying making these. And okay, talk to you later. Bye.
Sometimes you have to cut ties with your family. It's not because you're heartless, but because you realize that just because you're blood related, that doesn't mean that you have to accept their toxicity. Most people are taught that family is everything, that loyalty to blood is non-negotiable. But this is the truth. The people who share your DNA, they're not always the people who support your growth. Sometimes the people who hold you back the most, they're the ones who claim to love you the most. And here's what most people don't understand about boundaries. You can love people from a distance. You can respect your family without letting them sabotage your future. Boundaries aren't cruel, they are necessary. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is remove yourself from people who can't celebrate your growth or even respect your choices. The people who want the old version of you, they don't miss you. They miss the version that didn't threaten their comfort. Your growth, it forces them to confront their own stagnation, and they resent you for it. They're going to disguise it as concern. You're changing. You're working too hard. Remember where you came from. But what they're really saying is, stop growing, because it makes me feel bad about not growing myself. You don't owe anyone access to your life just because you share a last name. Your circle is not supposed to make you comfortable. It is supposed to make you better. Sometimes getting better means getting smaller. Fewer people, higher standards, zero tolerance for energy vampires. If you guys want daily insights and actionable strategies to set boundaries, protect your growth, and build a life that's true to you, that's what my newsletter is for. Comment the word newsletter, and I will send you a link for free access.
All right, in this next clip, this woman shares a very emotional and personal story about why she decided to distance herself from her family. She talks about growing up in a certain environment, trying to set boundaries, and how difficult it can be when those boundaries aren't respected, even by the people closest to you. This is a really deep and sensitive one, and it shows that sometimes choosing your peace comes at a heavy cost. Let's watch her story.
I never wanted to be one of those people that comes on to cries, but like, here I am. Some of you started following me because I look like a supermodel, obviously. Some of you started following me because of my political comedy content. What some of you don't know is that I was raised in a very conservative household. My parents are doctors, my sister's an attorney, and it's been hard. Don't cry, bitch, suck it up. Yes, ma'am. Anyway, last year in 2023, I went to the Grippy Socks hospital, shall we say. It was not my first time, it was not my second time. But this time I did allow my family to come see me. And when they came to visit, they asked, what can they do? Which was the first time I really had ever heard them say that. My father even apologized because he knew that some of the things that he had said and done to me as a child, hell, even as an adult, impacted me and my mental health. By the way, my mother's a psychiatrist. Please keep that in mind. I asked my sister to be on my side sometimes. That's what I asked of her. Not to change politically, but to be on my side sometimes when my parents get on my case. That might look like her saying, I'm sorry they did that, Brittany. Or looking at my family and saying, guys, let's not talk about that right now. Let's not do that. From my parents, I asked them two things. I asked them not to speak on politics in front of me because they are ultra-conservative, MAGA, religious, Southern Baptist people. And I asked them not to ignore things anymore. They have a very waspy persona, if you know what that is, where we just smile and stay sweet for the neighbors, if you will, in case they're watching. My mother agreed, my father agreed, my sister agreed. My mother even suggested we do Zoom family therapy. That did not happen, obviously. That's why I'm using TikTok. Don't tell my therapist. There was really not much of a change from any of them. I now live in LA, and I went back to Minnesota, unfortunately, during the week of the election. It didn't go well. My mother FaceTimed me and my sister celebrating and dancing and smiling, and when I reminded her that I don't want to talk about that we don't need to do that, she continued to smile. And my sister didn't take my side. Shocking, I know. She said nothing. She walked away from the situation, didn't say anything to me. She heard me sniffling in the background after we got off the phone with my mom because I had watched a boundary be crossed. And she just came back in 5 minutes later and said, okay, ready to go? I told her this is why I don't go hang out with mom and dad on the holidays, and she got mad at me, so I just lost it on her. I was so upset that it didn't impact my family to see me in scrubs in a psych ward, knowing that my mental health and my boundaries have been fucked with by them for years. It didn't matter that they were a source of my trauma, and I had asked just basic things from them. I left her house immediately and no one said anything to me. A couple days ago, I sent an email to my mom and I said very politely, I had people look at it, that I was very upset with the fact that my boundaries were continuing to be broken and crossed, that they continue to use bigoted language, that no one ever sees my side of things, and I just can't be in that space anymore. I live in a very diverse world, and I can't be around people that just speak with such hate and vitriol all the time. Empathy and learning is not on their radar anymore. So at the end of the email, I said, if you all would like to speak again with the use of a therapist or a mediator or counselor, I would be amenable to doing that if you all would, as I know it was a suggestion from Mom last year while I was in the hospital. My mom and dad took 3 days to write me back. And when they did, my mom said, in the 39 years that we've known you and loved you, we've done that out of the goodness of our heart. And I'm sorry, but it seems like we can never give you enough or do enough for you. I asked my psychiatrist mother to respect my boundaries and to maybe even do some family therapy. And my family said no. And it makes me sad because that means I probably won't get to see my niece and nephew for a long time, and I love them so very much. Suck it up. But I also sit here and I think, this is another form of ending the cycle. This is another form of ending the cycle where we don't talk about things candidly, where we just forget that bad things have happened and we move on. I am ending that because my mental health matters and I matter. Oh my God, I am that bitch on TikTok who cries. Ugh, just scroll. And I know it seems that it's all down to politics and stuff like that, but it's so much more than just political differences. It's this constant fear of letting them down. It's this cycle of anger and aggression and not listening to one another. And I want to encourage people to set boundaries and abide by them, even if it's so hard and it's breaking your heart. I love my family very much, but I can't love them if I'm not here. And so this is what I have to do. If you are in a similar boat as I am, I see you and you are welcome on my page, and I swear to God, I'm gonna get back to telling dick jokes and stupid comedy stuff very soon. Also, family is who you choose. It doesn't have to be blood related. And I'm very grateful for my friends in my life who make it worth me sticking around. So I just needed a place to share that. Thanks. Okay, back to dick jokes and making fun of men. Let's go.
Dysfunctional families will put you in a position to have to go no contact and then act shocked when you actually go no contact. They expect for you to take all the decades worth of trash talk, the decades worth of criticism and judgment, the decades worth of exclusion, the decades worth of minimizing your accomplishments. And that passive aggressive, dishonest connection may have worked for the older generation, but this newer generation has realized that family is so much more than blood relation. Family is love and support and encouragement. Family is guidance. The people who love your children, the people who applaud your milestones, the people who are with you at your worst and stay with you till you get to your best. Not the ones that kick you when you're down, not the ones that judge everything that you've had to do in life, not the ones that use your struggles as a talking point for their coffee time conversations.
All right, in this next clip, this woman shares a very emotional and personal story about why she decided to distance herself from her family. She talks about growing up in a certain environment, trying to set boundaries, and how difficult it can be when those boundaries aren't respected, even by the people closest to you. This is a really deep and sensitive one, and it shows that sometimes choosing your peace comes at a heavy cost. Let's watch her story.
I made a video a while back talking about why God separated you. You were separated from your family so that he could work on you, so that he can teach you things about what's going on up in your bloodline, so that you can get to the root of it, unlearn it, and create something new for generations to come. See, we have to understand that the program is bigger than us. It ain't just about you, okay? So whenever somebody coming against you and your family, I want you to understand that it's not personal. Don't take it personal. It's all an attack against the assignment that God has placed on your life, your purpose. The purpose is for you to go through it, experience it, learn what you need to learn about it. Okay? Unlearn, learn, reprogram your mind, and teach somebody else. You are creating a brand new path for your family. It don't matter about the ones that came before you. We talk about the ones that come after you. You are creating a new path. That's why it's so hard for you, because you're creating a new path. You're doing something different. You had to be separated from your family. The Bible says, come from among them. Come from amongst them. Okay? Matter of fact, let me read the entire scripture. Okay, so it's 2 Corinthians 6:17, and it says, therefore come out from among them and be separate, says the Lord. Do not touch what is unclean, and I will receive you. Earlier in that chapter, and this is it's basically talking about being holy, but earlier in that chapter on 2 Corinthians 6:14 says, do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has righteousness with lawlessness? And what communion has light with darkness? Your family been living in darkness for generations, but you are the one that has stood out from everybody since you were born. Even the way some of y'all came into this world, like, oh my gosh, you were born different. You are the one that God wants to use to shift the entire trajectory of your bloodline. That's why you understand things on a different level than everybody else in your family. That's why you see things differently than everybody else in your family. And they call you crazy. They call you everything but a child of God. They treat you like crap. You were never supported. You were never clapped for. You were never congratulated. It was all for a reason. But you were separated from your family so God could work on you. He can heal you. He can grow you. He can mature you in the way that you should go. Like His will for your life. So you can be in alignment with His will for your life. It's bigger than you. And the attack that you receive from your family is not on you personally. It is your assignment. Your assignment is under attack. What God wants to accomplish through you for your bloodline is what's being attacked. And that's what I had to learn. Something that I had to learn, and still learning. It's not about me. God wants to demolish these corrupt systems that's been traveling in your bloodline for generations. And it's gonna start with you. Yes, you. Little old you. And you're probably thinking, well, I ain't got nothing. I don't know nothing. I ain't good. Please. God don't call the qualified. He actually qualifies the called. And you, my friend, are called. You the woman for the job. You the man for the job. Nobody else in your family is willing to do this. You've been trying to understand, why me, God? Why you picked me to go through all of this? Well, actually, everybody is going through it. You were just the one with the mindset of, I'm not doing this, operating in this system no more. I want to do something different. That desire that you had in your heart was from God. You've been different. You stand out like a sore thumb. Remember in school when you would try to fit in with everybody else and you stood out like a sore thumb? You stood out like the light bulb in the darkness? Yeah, it was for a reason. God called you away from your family. He pulled you away from your family. He separated you from those people for a reason. Those unbelievers for a reason. And when the Bible talk about being unequally yoked, that ain't just about relationships, or should I say romantic relationships. We're talking about friendships, family members, jobs, all of the above. The Bible even says that a prophet is not even welcome in his own hometown. God is a God of order, not chaos. So with order comes strategic moves. With order comes intentionality and purpose. You the only one in the family. Look at you. You probably the only one that want to do something different than what everybody else in your family is doing. They're in a system, like a cult. And if you go outside of that, you're the problem. But I hope this helped you understand a little bit more why you had to be separated from your family. Take a little weight off your shoulders. You had to be separated because God want to do something different through you, for your bloodline. God is also going to save souls through you. And you are going to be helping people in ways that you cannot even imagine. So continue to show up. Continue to do the work that God has called you to do. And stop worrying. It's all working out in your favor. It happened for a reason. You had to be separated. Don't worry about them. God gonna deal with them. You just could not be in the mix of why God was dealing with them. Another thing, which is another topic for another video, is them going through the wrath or dealing with the consequences of their own actions, reaping what they've sown. They would blame it on you if you were in the midst. I just had a deja vu moment. Oh my gosh. I really feel like this has already happened before. I don't know. But you cannot be in the mix while people are reaping what they've sown. Because when you come against a child of God, and the Bible says, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm, God gonna deal with them. You just continue to mind your business. You were separated for a reason, okay? I love you.
But I'll tell you what's even worse, is keeping that family member in your life when they make you miserable every day. It's a choice.
So in this next clip, this speaker shares a strong and honest take on why some people feel they have to distance themselves from their family in order to grow. She talks about cycles, lack of support, and how staying in certain environments can hold you back from becoming who you're meant to be. This one is definitely going to spark some opinions. Let's watch her story.
If you're trying to do something in life, you're going to have to get away from your family. Your family ain't going to tell you you're going to have to get away from them because they want to keep you around so they can hold you down. The longer you stay around them, the longer you remain unsuccessful. You've literally been the punching bag all your life. You've been trying to figure out how to get away from these people, but you just can't seem to get away. It's like when you do try to get away, it's like you return back every single time. Baby, you in a cycle. You were trained to literally be in that cycle, to repeat that cycle, to come back when things get hard, to fall back on them because you think you need them. But all while you falling back on them, they are mistreating you, they are belittling you, they are talking down on you, basically stomping you while you already down. So they committed to keeping you in a low place. So in order for you to rise and get away from these people permanently, you literally have to go in a different direction and make up in your mind that you're not going back and keep going in a different direction. Keep moving forward and not looking back. Once you cut these people off, you can love them from a distance, cool, but you're going to have to keep moving forward. Yeah, you're going to get that little homesick feeling, but that's okay. Don't go back. Don't go back around these people because they're committed to keeping you in a low place. And this coming from somebody who had to start over multiple times. They do not want to see you rise. They just want to see you keep failing and trying to get back up. And all while you're trying to get back up, they're going to be kicking you while you're trying to get back up. So it's going to be like you take 10 steps forward or you take 2 steps forward and get knocked 10 steps back. So you're going to have to forcefully go in a different direction. And it's going to look like literally cutting them off from your life and going in a different direction. And this for the people who got family that don't support them, family who don't want to see them do nothing good. I'm not talking about the family I'm not talking about the people who got family that support them, that push them to be their best self, that pour into them, that love on them. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the people who got family as haters, family who done made them the enemy. That's who I'm talking to. Black sheep, scapegoat, the chosen one of the family. That's what I'm talking about. You're gonna have to get away from your family. If not, you're going to stay stuck in that cycle.
My dad does not inherently respect women, and I think he believes that women need to earn his respect. Not only that, he has pretty much bullied my mom his entire life, And on top of that, he tries to kind of bully my sister and I too. And I really think this is because we're women and not men. Like, I think truly he wanted sons over daughters, and he thinks he has the right to kind of make comments about our weight, control our body weight, and make us behave in a very certain way. My dad often makes very degrading and derogatory comments directed at women, and he also treats his own mom, like my grandmother, with a huge amount of disrespect. I think my dad truly sees women as emotional punching bags. He has no way to take out his frustrations, anger, bitterness, and rage. Therefore, he takes it out on women, especially those in the family. There's not a single woman in our family he respects.
So in this next clip, this speaker shares a strong and honest take on why some people feel they have to distance themselves from their family in order to grow. She talks about cycles, lack of support, and how staying in certain environments can hold you back from becoming who you're meant to be. This one is definitely going to spark some opinions. Let's watch her story.
Hi, welcome to part 1 of My Toxic Mother-in-Law Hates Me Because I Married Her Son and She Couldn't. All seriousness, I'm making a 5-part series to why my husband and I went no contact with his family, specifically his mother, and how we got to that point. We've been no contact with them for over 2 years at this point, and it has been amazing. And for all you toxic people out there, this isn't something that we decided on a whim. We went through a lot of trauma and issues with this woman before we got to this point, so I don't want to hear the whole you chose hate over love. Just don't even waste your energy. This first part is going to be more so like the beginning when I first got with my husband and a lot of the red flags that I noticed. And in part 2, I'm going to be going very deep and give a lot of examples and parts of my story of her manipulation and all of her narcissistic traits and just how poorly she treated me and my husband. During this part, I will talk about like the thing that sent me over the edge that I literally could not deal with her anymore because it was so evil, but we'll get there in a minute. Alright, so here is the backstory. My husband and I have been married for about 5.5 years. We have been no contact with his family and her for 2.5 years. If you do the math there, I was with my husband and we were dating for 3 years before we got to this point. We got married in September of 2023. We decided to go no contact with them a month after we got married in October of 2023. In the first kind of year of our relationship, I didn't really have many interactions with his family, especially his mom, but there were a few red flags that I want to talk about because immediately when I met her and found out more things about her, I got that gut feeling like this woman is not safe. One, this might not be true with everybody, but his mother never left the house. She didn't work, she didn't do anything, she never left the house, she didn't go anywhere, she didn't have any friends. It was just really weird to me, and I'm an introvert, so I get it. Home is my safe place. But when I say she never left the house, she never left the house. Had no friends, didn't really hang out with any family or see family or speak highly of her own family. She talked trash about everybody constantly. Second, if you know a narcissist, you know this. She had those black narcissist soulless eyes. You look at her and there is nothing in her eyes. It is literally like you're looking through a black hole. She had no soul, she had no heart, she had no empathy towards other. She only cared about herself and nobody else. A lot of my trauma was from like year 2 and 3 of being with my husband, especially year 3. But some things I noticed in the very beginning is that she would tell my husband lies about me or things that I told her, and then she would also tell me lies that my husband supposedly told her. And this was a theme throughout our whole relationship. And I know with toxic mother-in-laws, a lot of them are very outspoken and they talk trash and do whatever in front of their son to their girlfriend or their wife. But his mom was unique in the way of she liked to do everything behind the scenes. What that meant was cornering me and getting me alone and telling me awful weird things, texting me very awful things as if I wouldn't show that to my husband. I get my husband alone when I wasn't around and telling him weird things and trying to manipulate him into not being with me. One of the biggest red flags of that first year that I was with him was she told me not once, not twice, not 3 times that she could never get close to me, never have a relationship with me because she was so heartbroken over the girlfriend my husband had in high school that she just couldn't get over it and she couldn't get to know me because of that. Mind you, he was 17/18 years old when he broke up with this girl because he went to boot camp and did not miss her. And we are now 21, 22 years old and she's still so heartbroken over the high school relationship. So if that doesn't scream toxic, manipulative, narcissist behavior, I don't know what does. But if you don't see it yet, trust me, you will see it. If not by the end of this part, but by part 2 and then definitely by part 5. Let me tell you the catalyst moment, the biggest moment, the most evil, toxic moment I had with her that finally made me tell my husband, I am done, you can do what you want, but I will not see or speak to her ever again. One time in March of 2023, we were at my husband's parents' house. My husband still lived there at the time. My husband was in the kitchen making him and I dinner. I was just in the kitchen hanging out. His mother comes into the kitchen, asks me if she can talk to me, and wants me to follow her downstairs. It was like a split level house. I already had so much trauma with this woman at this point. There had been so many awful, evil things that she had done to me that I immediately was so anxious. But I had tried with her over and over and over and over and over again, and I knew my husband and I were about to get engaged, so I was really trying to just be neutral and to not have an issue with this lady. So my heart is racing. I'm literally scared for my life. That might sound dramatic, but if you've gone through this, you know that is not dramatic. I follow her down there and we began talking about a situation when my husband graduated the police academy. And this is another situation where she was toxic, but I won't get too into it. But basically at his police academy a couple months prior to that, me and my mom had went to support him, and then some of his immediate family went to support him. I knew they literally do not care about him. They don't support him. She has been manipulating and treating him horrible his whole life since his childhood and lying to him. But when he's done graduating, my mom and I go up, we're all excited for him, like we're taking pictures with him. Then, after a long time, they come up. And his mom is taking pictures of him with like the couple siblings that came, and they're all getting in a family photo, and they're doing this and they're doing that. Not once does she ask me to be in a photo, take a photo of us, acknowledge my presence literally at all. She had never met my mother, but I did not want my family to meet her and talk to her, and they didn't want to either. They were completely fine with that because I had been telling my mom about everything, which will be important to note when I talk in my next part about a lot of the manipulation, especially at our wedding. Anyway, so she did not acknowledge my presence, didn't speak to me, didn't include me in any of the photos, or act like I was a part of the family, even though we had been dating for almost 3 years. She didn't know this, but about to get engaged. Anyway, so we're downstairs talking. She's trying to manipulate me to think that I'm the issue because parents should never ever acknowledge the children, that I should have came running up to her with my arms open and acknowledged at the graduation. Mind you, when they came up, I wasn't even with my husband. I was talking to some of his friends, and then when we came over to join them for the pictures, she literally would not look my way. So we're talking about this, and she's getting really heated and upset over it. So she's mad that she can't manipulate me. She tells me, well, Donovan told me that he doesn't even want to be with you, so that's why I didn't want you in any of the photos, because I knew you wouldn't be around for long. Mind you, I already know that he bought me an engagement ring and that at any moment in the next couple months, he was going to propose to me. And I didn't want to tell her this because he didn't want his family to know, because he was already kind of getting over them. But I felt like I needed to defend myself a little bit, because how are you going to tell me that he doesn't want me when I know he just bought a ring? So I defend myself and I'm like, really? Because he literally just bought an engagement ring and we're about to be engaged. And in that moment, she went from her normal self to straight evil. Her eyes got black, her face got red. I literally feel like I saw the devil come out of her. It was like the weirdest experience I've ever seen in my life. And then she goes to tell me, I'll spare some of the details because once again, this is my personal life, but she goes to tell me that my husband's actually cheating on me. And she can't tell me this girl's name, she can't tell me nothing, but he's cheating on me and she knows it, and I can't be with him because he's cheating on me. And so I'm getting really anxious because like I know this woman lies and manipulates whatever, but I can't tell if she's actually telling the truth. And I'm like, if I'm about to marry this guy, like if she's even telling a little bit of the truth, like I need to know. So I'm getting anxious, I'm getting worked up. I'm not crying because I will not give her that benefit. But I'm asking her, I'm like, well, what's her name? Like I can't check if I don't know her name, like blah, 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 blah. Finally, she gives me a name. And we end the conversation with her saying like, I'm so sorry I had to be the one to tell you this. Like I know you're heartbroken, but you just can't be with him if he's cheating on you. You deserve better than that. So I go upstairs, my husband's about to be done cooking dinner. I'm like, hey, can I check your phone? He's like, yeah, of course, like what's going on? And I'm like, legs bouncing, heart racing, I'm trying not to cry, my face I can feel is like heated and red. And I'm like, we'll talk about it in a minute. So I'm going through everything, every social media, even dumb stuff like Pinterest, all of his text messages, I'm searching up her name, literally nothing. I cannot find a single thing. And trust me, I'm a sleuth, so I was looking at everything. We go out to his room, I'm like, who is so-and-so? Guess who it is, guys? Yup, his girlfriend from high school that she can't get over. He was so confused, he was so mad, I was mad. Long story short, it was a very traumatic night. And if you can't tell already, she was straight up lying. This is the moment that I could not take anymore. And one more example I will give of how my body reacted to her when I was around her was 1 month after our wedding, when I told you guys we went no contact. We went no contact after this situation. They really wanted us to come over. I did not want to. I did not feel comfortable with it. But once again, I'm a good person and I was really trying with these people because we had just got married. We go over there. And I don't know if other people experience this, but sometimes when I have high amounts of stress, I get cold sores on my lips. And to prove how not anxious I get, I haven't had a cold sore in like years before this. We're on our way to their house and I'm so anxious and terrified to see her because of not only the situation I just told you about, but all of the very traumatic things I went through that I'll discuss more next part, that I started to feel a tingle on my lip. And I knew right away that I was getting a cold sore. And I was so upset. We go there, I'm like anxious the whole time. I don't really speak. I'm like, I don't want to be here. Blah, 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 blah. We leave that night. So the next morning I wake up. And whenever I've gotten a cold sore in the past, small little circle one right here. But no, I woke up that morning, bottom lip covered. My lip was swollen. I'm not exaggerating. I would show a photo, but it was disgusting. And I don't even know if I'd be allowed to share that. From here to here, my bottom lip was covered in cold sores. That was the final moment for my husband. He was already kind of thinking about blocking them and stuff. But that was the moment for him where he really was like, yes, we need to go no contact. We cannot do this anymore, because he saw, because I'd always told him how it physically affected me, but he couldn't actually like, when he saw my lip, he felt awful. And that's when he finally was like, okay, no more. I cannot allow you to be treated this way. I cannot allow your body to respond and feel unsafe in that way. But this just shows you how deep the trauma and the pain and the toxicity is with these kind of people. And I know this part 1 is long, but these are just a couple examples of how awful it was for me. And mind you, this is only like 2 or 3 things. This is nothing compared to the 3 years that I dealt with this woman. And like I said, I'll go more into that in the next part. I know that was long, but I hope that was helpful. And this is the first time I've ever really shared this with anybody other than a few people close to me. So I hope you relate to it, that you're feeling some hope, or that you're at least feeling seen and heard, because I know how alone you can feel. But that's all. I can't wait to see you in part 2. Thank you for giving me the space to share and to encourage me and support me. It means so much.